Hi guys, hello Soul Group, shout out to the Soul Group, shout out to Dolo the Pilot Man, shout out to every individual, real individual that is watching this video right now. How you doing? I hope you are having a beautiful Saturday. I hope that you are being able to put some limits and boundaries or to do some kind of restriction to strengthen your spirit. All right. Also, I hope that you are protected. I hope that you are not dealing with too much toxicity and bullshit, because this Scorpio new moon can bring new toxicity up for us to deal with. And if you are going through some toxic waste waters, remember that you are not those things. You are your spirit. Alright? So, if you know how, if you are able to detach and rest, my friend. So, today I'm here, Esoteric Cloud Surfer, to catch an esoteric cloud and go surf the esoteric waves about the masks. That's right, because with this thing that is going on the world right now, not in the world, this thing that is going on the world right now, almost everybody is using a mask, either outside, either when they're shopping, either when they're driving. I've seen a lot of couples on the same car wearing a mask, so they are afraid of each other. And that's not good, at least for me to see. But if you live on a main country, what the people, what the Soul Group in power right now sees as a main country, because there is no main country. For you, it might be mandatory, it depends on the location you live, to wear a mask, even just to go outside. It's mandatory. In my country, right now where I live, it's mandatory to wear a mask when you go shopping, when you are in a closed space. You have to wear a mask, but if it is in a restaurant, you then can take it out to eat. If it is on the street, it's not mandatory yet, and I hope it will not be mandatory. And it's mandatory like pretty much everywhere you need to go in a building. It's mandatory, all right. And you might be experiencing the same or even worse. Hopefully, you are able to not wear a mask to buy your things, your daily needs. And that's my point that I want to reach in this video, is the mask wearing, and how many, I always confused those two expressions, how much and how many people are actually wearing this mask. It's a lot. It's probably like when I go outside, I see a couple kids. Oh yeah, kids need to use that wear the mask at school as well, and it's really weird. I heard that they need to go when it's break time. They need to spend their break time inside of a box, a literal box, so they don't get out of their room and experience the recess and play with each other. They need to be stick together for safety issues. So, as I can see pretty much the whole world. As I said, what is the whole world for us? Because the whole world, it's not actually the whole world. There are countries that they don't even know about COVID. I'm sure of it. But for us, the main countries, no, the main world, the whole world, it's just a few countries like Brazil, UA, Belgium, Italy, UK, USA. I don't know what I said, UA. I don't know what that is. But those big countries that appears on the news, and they are very important. For us, or for not for me, not for my soul group, because we are not lost in the news, but for people who are lost in the news, that is the whole world. So for them, the whole world is using a mask when they go outside, and that's my point. It's almost everybody. It's wearing a mask right now. And for most people, that might they come across as a shock or something. It's the new normal. It's the It's what we have to do to save lives. It's very important. It's patriotic. I've seen that people in America think it's patriotic to wear a mask. Well, here where I live in Portugal, it's more about the being afraid of receiving a ticket, of getting fined by the police, nothing else. People are not really afraid, more the old people, but they spend more time watching TV, so that's understandable. And it's like people are more afraid of social repercussion, of others talking badly, others talking behind them back, uh, about how they are not wearing a mask, and in my experience, the most uh, fear or the highest reason they use a mask is because they are afraid of being fined by the police. And that's another point that I wanted to point out, is that wearing a mask, it's not new, all right? If you are comfortable with wearing a mask, or if you see a lot of people in the street wearing a mask right now on their faces, right, a physical mask, you need to know that those persons, those people, those type of people, they were using a mask long before all of this came along. And you might now pause the video and say, what is this guy talking about? This guy is crazy. This just came out November last year. It's making 1 year right now. Blah, 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 right? And what I wanted to tell you is that it's metaphorical, right? But it's true. People were wearing masks before, because people were not true individuals. They will try their best to fit in the society rules or the society goals, the society list of what you need to do and what you can't do to be seen as a good person, right? Or a certain type of body physical measurement, a certain type of hairstyle, a certain way to talk, certain boots that transmit to others a certain status quo, and they through that they can communicate and assert their status with each other, right? So people were wearing masks even before, because they would accept anything that will be imposed to them. And many times it's not even by the government or by some kind of authority. They do that to themselves. They think that other persons, other people will think badly about them if they don't do certain things, or if they do certain things, they think that people will talk badly about them. That's wearing a mask. When you outside, not being you, not being an individual, not being who you truly are, because you are afraid, or you are having in too much consideration others' opinions about what you might transmit or look to them through your own appearance and behavior, right? So that was a mask that people were using before. Now, everyone that were using a mask before is wearing a mask right now. And those were the first persons to do it, because here in my country, it got like mandatory mask wearing like 3 months ago. I think I don't pay too much attention to it, so I don't really know. But it was like in tops 6 months ago, okay? And before that, before it was mandatory, before it was recommended for your health, before it was any kind of I was about to say real evidence, but I cannot, because that is not right now, so it wasn't in the past as well. But right when those news started to come up, and I will do some groceries, people were wearing masks, alright? Face masks, real physical masks, without it being mandatory, alright? People were already doing it. So there is definitely esoteric, spiritual, mental, and emotional factor before the physical one, because they are not afraid of the disease, they are not afraid of the virus. All right, because just in the other day, like 2 days ago, I saw a video of people celebrating, I think it was celebrating Joe Biden's victory. That's another subject for on its own, but they were celebrating with masks on, celebrating having a party together, right? But they were using masks, so, and then they will talk with their masks off, they will speak, shout out to each other, drink from the same bottle. So you wearing a mask because you are afraid of something that is highly contagious on your world perspective. Otherwise, you wouldn't be wearing a mask or support someone who says that, right? But you do. You are wearing a mask, and now you are doing things that compromise your health on your own perspective. See, people are not afraid of the virus. People are not afraid of getting killed, of die. I mean, they are, but not from this in specific. People are afraid of something else. And that's when the esoteric masks connects to now. Because everybody else, now everybody that was wearing a mask, an esoteric mask, a mental mask, aka they wouldn't be themselves outside and inside, even at home, they will do certain things based on being relatable with their co-workers or with their schoolmates, all right? And they would hide certain personal interests because they thought it was being a nerd. It wasn't cool. It was lame to be myself. And they will put a mask on and go out and laugh with others, being so relatable, same, being desireful as fuck, alright? Being relatable with negativity, alright? Seeing that movie just because somebody else see it. There is a lot of examples. But I think you're getting the point right now. That mask, that mask of falsity, of hiding your own personality, hiding your own uniqueness, hiding your own individuality. And they went right into wearing physical masks because it's correlated. The mental mask, the esoteric mask, the identity mask is what generated the physical circumstance of people wearing masks in the street right now. Because if people were truly individuals, if people were truly thinking for themselves, what is happening in the world right now wouldn't be happening. Because it doesn't make any sense, right? Because people say, wear masks, save lives. People were being and are wearing masks. When I'm outside, I'm like the only one, and some couple kids running, being kids. I'm glad for them. They are not wearing masks, but everybody else is. But the numbers still rise. It doesn't make sense. There is business shut down. People can't watch sports. People can't do this. People can't do that. Blah 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 blah. But the case is still going up. So that doesn't make sense because people are doing the things that is supposedly to retard the advancement of the disease. But the disease still is increasing. So it's not that. People are not afraid of that. Because people deep down, they feel that this doesn't make sense. There are certain measures that it doesn't make sense. Certain measures, if we are going to look through their perspective, even they worsen the situation. So there is something else here that is making these people wearing masks. It's because they are afraid of being themselves. They are afraid of showing others that they do not consent to general ideology, to general um, um, perspective, to a general narrative, right? And that's my final, third and final point of this video is don't wear a mask. If you can, don't wear a mask. Even physically, it's bad for you. You are breathing your own poo poo, okay? You are breathing your own shit because you breathe out dioxide, um, carbon dioxide, um, not mercury, but it comes with methane as well, and that those elements get stuck on the mask and you breathe it right in. It limits your oxygen supply. You can't see the others smiling, and that has a psychological effect. But that's the tiniest impact it is having because wearing a mask is a ritual. And that's how the third point connects with my first point. That is, people were using masks before. Because people were and are inside of a spell, of a formula, of an equation, of a magic square, inside of a mental perspective of the world that do not belongs to them. And it has been since it has been like that for a very long time. And now, because people were doing firstly on their minds, firstly on their hearts, then on their minds, now it's physical, right? Because people would always give in, or they would always follow whatever was going on in the news, in the radio, wherever, because now we have social media. Before there was other means to influence people, and that got into physical wear of masks. So if you can, don't wear a mask. You are participating into a ritual that ritual is made to trap energy and transform that energy into with an intention. And that intention is to shut up people, to not let people be themselves, to not let people be truly individuals and learn life for themselves. And connect that to the first point. People were doing that previously, mentally and emotionally. They wouldn't express certain things. Me, when I was a kid, uh, I like Pokemon very much. I still play today. And when I was a kid, I was way more invested into that. But it was considered lame. I had no problems about it. I will be always playing. But my friends who also enjoyed to play Pokemon, when I wanted to play with them, because of them, we would have to go to hidden spots at the school because they were afraid that the other kids in the class would spot us and joke with them. Well, I had no problem with that. I'm an Aquarius, you know. If you think I'm weird, that's good for me. That's alright. It means I'm doing well in life. But you see, kids having to hide their personal interests because other kids will say that they're lame. That's it. That's it. But now it's physical and it's on your face. Do you see how it cover your smile, your mouth, how you speak, how you breathe, how you express yourself? It's now covered. People can hear you. People can see you. Do you see? But this was already happening in the spirit, at the spiritual level, then at the mental, and then emotional, and now physical level. Okay? So it's not because of a certain disease, it's not because of a politician, it's not because of a health requirement safety measure. It's because people have been allowing that to happen for so much time that now it's physical.